Hi, and welcome to Kiss List Confessions, where authors of kissing books talk about kissing. I'm Melanie Johnson, and today I have with me Sonali Dev. Sonali, hi.
Hi, Melanie. Hi, everyone. That's a mouthful, that name. Kissing, kissing, kissing is all I heard. So that's awesome.
Kiss List Confessions, yes. Would you say you are an author of kissing books?
Absolutely.
All right.
So.
Then you're in the right place.
Other things.
Yes. So we're going to dive right in and just jump right into it. And this is about your first kiss, or your first memorable kiss. You can decide what determines first. You need to describe it in 3 words.
Oh my goodness. First memorable or first? Because you don't want to know.
That's your choice.
You don't want to know about my first actual kiss. Oh my God. Oh gosh. So I'll tell you about the first one, which was quite icky. So it would be icky. Led to breakup. I don't know.
Okay, so that actually could be your 3 words. So led to breakup are the 3 words.
Yeah, maybe it didn't really lead to breakup, but it certainly helped me not be with this person. So
okay, so I'm guessing it was not a great kiss.
It was far from a great kiss, Melanie. It was kind of icky. It was, how they say in books where you don't feel anything, like it's just nothing. I was this guy who was, it was an arranged marriage setup. He was quite gung-ho, but I think that kiss kind of was, it was not, it was absolutely not what I wanted for the rest of my life, yes.
So it kind of told you, all right, this is a no.
Many other things told me the same thing, but I know from that, I knew, when I actually kissed someone and felt something, how the 2 ends of that spectrum worked.
That's a great point, that like having that negative experience helped you understand what a positive experience would be instead. So.
Absolutely. And I say icky, but it wasn't really icky. It just was nothing.
It was meh.
It was just like nothing. It was like, water. It was just drinking water.
For the 3 words, are we going to go with led to breakup?
Or it was nothing? No, led to breakup. Let's do that. That's interesting. Okay. that's the story.
So we're going to go on to what we hope would not be icky, and where you get to pick your 3 celebrities that you would like to kiss. And again, this isn't a fantasy bubble. This is pretend. We're not causing any relationships to break apart or anything like that.
Okay, so if your relationship is going to break up because you have a dream kiss, then I think you need to be looking for not to be judgmental or anything,
but hopefully it's stronger than that.
Yes. So for sure, this is a Bollywood actor, and his name is Saif Ali Khan, and he is so there's this thing in Bollywood, the Khans, which is like a whole bunch of actors with that last name who are very hot, and I think the popular opinion is most people think he's probably the least hot, but I think they're full of shit. he's so I've had a crush on him since I was a teenager, and he has aged the way everyone wants their husbands to age, and he's certainly my husband in my head. And so absolutely I would do anything with Saif. And he's just grown into this amazing, like, to hear him talk, all of it is just fabulous, and he can talk to me and do anything anytime he wants.
Okay. So, the kiss is just the start.
It's just the start. So that's one. I would say, for some strange reason, Matt Damon.
That one I would never have expected.
Yes. So always, I think it has to do with forearms. I don't know. I mean that.
So is it Matt Damon in any particular role, or just Matt Damon himself?
I don't think I've ever seen him in a role that I didn't think he was incredibly hot in. And so, just something about him, everything about him, I think is hot, which I know is kind of,
Even when
yeah.
he talks like with the thick Boston accent.
Oh, especially when he talks in the thick Boston accent. So absolutely.
This is enlightening, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, we've known each other for so long, and now you're getting to see the real Sonali. Absolutely. And then I think you said 3. Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah. That is a great choice.
I mean, actually, so many of the comedians, anyone who makes me laugh, but if you look like Trevor Noah, if you're that smart, you can make me laugh, you have that accent. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
he's smart, he's funny, he's empathetic, he's everything. He's definitely, he's attractive.
And he mentions his mom in like every conversation, which is just, you win, my man.
All right. So we're going to move from real people to fictional characters. Now, this one is, you've not necessarily seen them kiss in a scene or anything like that. It is something about them, the way they're written, the way they're described, that you think that they would make a great kisser. So 3 fictional characters that you think would make great kissers.
And not my own books?
Of course, there's no rules. There's no rules here. I mean, if you pick all 3 of them from your book, some of us might be like, all right.
Narcissist much.
But if there's one that comes to mind right away from one of your books, yeah, of course.
So I'll say, naturally, because I live with my own heroes in my head, and so I think all of them, for sure. So let's not, we won't do that, because there's so much like internalized history for me with the guys I write. Although even with all of those, I think the one that I'm writing right now, which is no big surprise, from the Emma book, but mainly because he is so almost full of himself in terms of performative. So he would be very, very upset if he didn't kiss really well, and he knows he does, and he's Emma, so he's arrogant, he has it all. And so I would say Vansh, who's not even in a book until next year. Who else? I think recently, have you read The Soulmate Equation by Christina
Lauren? Not yet. It's on my list.
So I think River, because there's something about the silent types, the intense. You want a guy who's intense and takes you very seriously, kissing you for sure. So I think River, something about him would be, would certainly be something, because I think he'd be very focused and very deliberate and careful, and needing to succeed again, which is great. So I think River. Who else? Oh, let me see. Fictional character. I'm going to not say any of the Jane Austen heroes, because
Mr. Darcy has made more than one appearance on this show, so you would not be alone.
Having said that, I feel like when you really think about Austen's heroes, I would say very low on the experience, really young, living in an age of patriarchy, so not really like focused on women's pleasure. I don't know. So I wouldn't think of Austen's heroes as as ones I'd pick. But most certainly, I think the best ones are from contemporary romance, because because it's a thing, right? We develop them to be the perfect kissers, and so there's something about that. So maybe the third one would be, oh my goodness, Melanie.
So Sonali insisted she likes to keep things fresh, and so she didn't look at the questions ahead of time.
Well, this is one time maybe I should have, but
no, but we're getting an off-the-cuff answer, which is great.
And one would think like these are answers that have been sitting in your head for a very long time. Oh my gosh, I would love to kiss this guy. But yeah, I would say going back to so I started my love for romance is really Lisa Kleypas based, like
Okay.
so many so many of us. So I'd say it would be really great to kiss Sebastian from Devil in Winter.
Ah,
Again, performative, focused on a woman's pleasure, focused on his own, slow, deliberative, and I think she says specifically that one of the things he loved to do best was kiss. Even more than the actual act, he enjoyed the act of kissing. And so who doesn't want to kiss a man like that, right?
yeah, seriously. Anything with that kind of intensity. So,
Yeah.
speaking of intensity and intense scenes, can you think of 3 scenes from books, movies, TV, your favorite kissing scenes?
Okay, so that one's a little bit easier. My so in so I grew up watching Bollywood films, also Hollywood, but a lot of Bollywood film. And the time that I was young, so through the 70s, 80s, 90s, there was no kissing on screen in Hindi movies. So there was a lot of symbolism. So every time there was that, and they're very intense, they're very romantically intense films. So can you imagine, like, you have this whole build up, and then when there's the moment, then it would cut to, two birds with their beaks meeting. It would cut to, it was horrifying. It would cut to flowers in the wind touching. And so this is, our childhood was defined by the anticlimax in terms of kissing. It was terrible, but we were very deprived. The first time that I saw a kiss in a Bollywood film was okay. So talk about, go back to the, so Saif is someone I've always been in love with. There is an Indian actor who used to be was the first Indian supermodel, male supermodel, back in the 80s and 90s, and his name is Milind Soman, and everybody should look him up because, hotness. And he again has aged really well, runs marathons, I mean, bare feet, don't ask, all sorts of like really is it getting hot in here kind of things going on. But anyway, so this was the small obscure Indian rom-com, classic rom-com, where this girl it's called Rules, Pyar Ka Super Hit Formula, which means rules, the super hit formula for love. And her grandmother basically gives her these rules she works in this ad agency, and this supermodel she's been in love with her whole life is, doing a project with them. And her grandmother says, well, you can nab anybody if you follow rules, because girl, there are rules. And
That's a great hook for a book. Yeah.
It's just the sweetest rom-com, and absolutely classic. And of course, he's the greatest guy and all of that. And she's not herself because she's following these rules where, your classic, you ignore them, you kind of, play the diva, like those things that, a grandmother would think were the things that nab men. But it's the sweetest movie, and there is this endlessly long kiss. It's on a mountaintop, and it's your classic, they're having a fight, and there's the quick angry first thing, and then they pull away, and there's that holy shit, what did I just feel? And then there's the boom, and it just goes on and on. And this is a Hindi movie, and they're in the mountains in the Himalayas, and it just pans, the entire thing pans around them. It's beautiful. Like, it's all 3 kisses in just that one, I think.
Yeah, I know, because there's like the different types, and they kind of move through them quickly. We get them all.
It's beautiful. And I think we should put up YouTube links, because man, it's beautiful.
I think, we will definitely do that, because it obviously sounds like something we all need to experience.
Absolutely.
Now it's going to be hard to top that one. So 2 other favorite kissing scenes.
I'm not even going to try to top that one, but of course, Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden in Pride and Prejudice, the film.
Yes.
In the rain, when they're by that pillared colonnaded thing, and again, same, right? I'm so mad at you, and then how does this kiss feel like this moment? And so that one for sure. And he stutters when he actually tells her he loves her, which is
right, to see this person who's so put together kind of lose it. Yes.
Yeah, so absolutely, I think that one. And then, of course, I'm going to stumble again because what would the third one be? I mean, when you watch them, they're fabulous, and then it's
right. We're not talking about, obviously, these are not going to be the ones that live in your memory. We've got those too, but another one that you found very charming or sweet or.
I think, have you watched Crash Landing on You?
Yes.
Yes, the K-drama. I think what happens in K-dramas is that they make you wait.
I was just going to say, like, it takes so long to get to that kiss.
I mean, really, you're eating your limbs. You're like, come on. And
so when you talk about sweet and charming, yes, so much so. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I think every one of their kisses is because he is such a classically perfect hero, right? He is he's so inexperienced and clueless and so noble and strong and brave. It's perfect. And again, intent has never felt about anyone like he feels about her. All those things, it just makes for
there are so many moments, like, you have like the where you're screaming, just kiss already. Like this one, there were multiple, just
do it. And I think the one I think in the rain outside the hospital.
Oh yes,
absolutely beautiful.
I know. And the next day, the nurse is like, "Did you see?"
Yeah. But kissing in the rain is absolutely like how can you go wrong?
I admit to a very personal. Yes, I definitely that's one of my ding ding.
Oh yeah.
So if you have not watched Crash Landing on You, and will come up multiple times in this show, you need to watch it. You need to take the time for yourself to watch this show. Yes. All right. So now we're going to move on from actual scenes to places, locations that you think would make ideal kissing spots. So these could be from personal experience, somewhere you've kissed that has been like, oh, that was just so romantic. Or it could be on your bucket list, a place you think would be a great place to kiss.
So there's a few things. I think that, and this is, my gosh, maybe I'm giving away too much. I think that there's something about stolen kisses, and it's kind of, I think it's such a throwback to childhood or to what you imagine love is going to be like. But there's something very exciting about, just like, even if we have, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. Okay. If we have a lot of people over for dinner or something, and my husband and I have like just gone into the kitchen to pick something up, and even just like a quick stove, because you're feeling so nice, you're surrounded by friends, this lovely time, you're having this lovely time, and then you kind of, steal a kiss. So it's not necessarily sexual. If it is, it's even better. But
that is super sweet. But you're right. There's that whole like kind of, you both are flying high on that vibe of family and togetherness and just all of that. And that's, oh my goodness, that is super sweet.
Yeah. I mean, even like you're at a wedding with a whole bunch of family and you're just kind of rounding a corner and and like you quickly, so I think there's something about that, I'm here, you're here. We're here together. That kind of thing is just so, which is kind of what a kiss is about, right? It's very being present in each other, right? It's a way to kind of to mark how you feel. And so it's yeah, for sure that I think rain, or even the
yes, I know.
Wet kissing is a good thing.
I know, and it's like, yes, it can be uncomfortable. It cannot be as romantic as you may think, but sometimes there are times when it is.
I think it's very, very, I don't know why it would not be romantic, but I think kissing, I think kissing when you're wet, there's something about it. That's just lovely. I'm sorry. And, that's what she said, but.
Okay. So, and then the last one. And I love how you're kind of picking like not specific locations, but specific like situations, like within a family gathering or a group gathering, like in the rain. So how about
Yeah.
number 3?
Yeah, I mean, what else? So if I were to pick like an actual place that is truly beautiful, I'm trying to think. So again, there's this whole like Bollywood throwback. This is almost funny, because it's the opposite of what you're asking. But in old Bollywood, so again, by old I mean like the 80s and 90s Bollywood cinema, Switzerland was a very big thing. So there's this joke almost in Indian culture where, because they would have it was Hindi films did this cut to thing. So you're somewhere, and then you have this like dance number that happens in Switzerland. So you're basically in the middle of Mumbai, and then you have this moment with a guy, and you burst into song in your head, and you cut to Switzerland. So
it's like kind of an imaginary thing, so they don't have to explain how they got there.
Yes. So it's kind of it's the emotions are in Switzerland on a mountaintop. So always, what is really funny is, and I think back in the 70s it used to be Kashmir, like that's where, so something about mountains and snow, and then then that was overdone, and so they took it to Switzerland. And in fact, there are directors in Bollywood who have like the keys, the mayoral keys to, because they've brought so much tourism and attention to these towns. But anyway, it's always a snowy mountain. The woman is always wearing a really flimsy chiffon knee sari with a lot of skin showing, and I can't imagine that it's more than 30 degrees, and the men are in trench coats. So it's this, just like, when you think about the patriarchy and all of that, it's very unattractive, but this is just the thing that was sold as being so hyper romantic. And so there's always a joke if you're visiting Switzerland, everybody, it's like, are you taking your chiffon saris to take pictures? and so there are actually people, I think you can do and I shouldn't laugh at, I mean, everybody is welcome to their dream. I'm not judging it, but there are people who will put their chiffon saris on and kiss and take pictures on a mountain.
Like there's a business you could have like a little like pick up your sari and your trench coat and off you go.
But I will tell you that, so there are full-size cutouts at the top of Mount, I think Titlis, of Shah Rukh Khan, in his trench coat with Kajol in her chiffon sari. I know that he's there. I'm not sure she is, but this is an actual thing. So, so I will tell you what I will not be doing. I will not be putting on a chiffon sari and kissing at the top of my
Never say never.
My kids would kill me. How's that?
Okay, so we're going to finish up with 3 songs that would be on your kissing music playlist.
Oh my goodness, you are tough. Kissing songs. Oh gosh.
So these could be songs, that, you enjoy having on, or, when you're writing, if there's a song that you played that when your characters are getting romantic,
So one of them is always, for me, a song that I find, because I write hyper emotional books and hyper emotional scenes. One of the ones, and I'm going to blank out, but it's Rihanna and Eminem, and the video is "Everything Is on Fire," right? What is the song I'm thinking?
I do know the one you're talking about, and it's okay. So all the songs that are picked that our authors talk about are on a playlist called Kissless Confessions that is on Spotify. And so we will go and I know the song she's talking about. We'll find the name of it and it will be on that playlist. So yeah, so you say the Eminem Rihanna song and I immediately know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And the video, I mean, they're in bed and there's fire and oh my gosh, I cannot remember it and I'm very embarrassed that I can't remember it. But there you have it. I Will Always Love You is like the ultimate, and especially Whitney hitting those notes.
I was going to ask, are we talking Dolly Parton or Whitney Houston?
Anyone can sing it, and Dolly Parton, since she wrote it, of course. But I think it's that particular notes, those particular notes that Whitney hits that are like a really good kiss, right? I mean, it's absolute operatic burst of emotion.
Right. It's right. You're like flying sky, yes, everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, of course, I have to say, there's the rest. I mean, there's a lot of romantic music, but for me, it's really hard to explain what exactly how beautiful Hindi ballads are. It's impossible to explain that it's like a romance. It's often a romance novel in a song, like an entire full experience of falling in love in a song. And I'll tell you, there's a classic one, which is Abhi Na Jao Chhodkar Ke Dil Abhi Bhara Nahi, which basically is two lovers saying goodbye, just in one moment, not goodbye forever, but they've met and she has to leave, and he's like, don't leave because my heart hasn't had enough. And she's like, no matter how much you have, no matter how long I stay, your heart just never has enough. And that's this back and forth, and it is just gorgeous. And immediately it puts me in the mind of of high romance, of how feelings between lovers should be. And so that one for sure.
All right. Well, that's a great recommendation. I can't wait to hear it. It's going to be on the playlist so everyone can hear it as well. So go ahead.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah. So before we go, I did want to talk about a certain book that is coming out.
It's this one.
Here it is, Incense and Sensibility, which, by the way, your son came up with that title, correct?
Yes. When he was in middle school, he is 22 now, but when he was in middle school, he came up with, I was thinking, this was back in 2013, I was kind of just thinking about these books. You probably remember, because I've been talking about them for so long, and so they were just literally a twinkle in my eye. And I was kind of riffing the ideas with him, and I said yoga instructor, and he just immediately, I was like, yoga instructor, incense maker, and he was like, Incense and Sensibility, immediately.
Well, it is perfect. It is perfect. And that will be out on July 6th. So you can pick that up. And it is a very timely book as well. And I think it will be a great read for people. And yeah, so we'll get that. That's coming this summer. Anything else you want to tell us about that's coming up?
I know someone else has a book up the same day that I do.
Yes, it is kind of fun to share a release day with you. So this, if all goes well, this episode is airing on July 6th when both their books come out. And it's also International Kissing Day.
Perfection.
So this has been Kissless Confessions. I'm Melanie Johnson with my guest,
Sonali Dev.
Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.